Welcome to the Tim Black Show. I want to give it up for my moderators. Let me make sure first. My moderators, Buck Bewley and Black Mamba in the house, Johnson. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back, Buck Bewley in the building. And of course, the notorious Black Mamba's in the building. We're back to full steam. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. So we're back to do what we do best, baby. We are in the house. We are firing on all cylinders. Feels good to have the old team back together. I want to say what's up to the Tim Black Wolf Pack. We're live on X, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. And yeah. And what can I say, baby? We're just doing it. If you're new to the show, we cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and Black culture. And we are fierce advocates for fighting the power. Now, I want to be clear. I'm what's known on the streets as a Democratic Party hater. Yeah, I'm going to put that out there. It gets me in trouble from time to time, but I knew the job was dangerous when I took it. I want to say what's up to the Tim Black Wolfpack on YouTube, man. If you're on X or Facebook, hit the share button. Get it out there into the masses. Who came through, man? I got any people in the house tonight, man? I don't know. I think I got a Crumb and a Black Rose and a Beth Lamb and a Pop in the house. What up, Pop? Nigel's here, as well as Waggy and Cat Negrita. We got young Tally in the building. What's up, young Tally? How you doing, fam? Welcome, people. We out here. Pachanda's in the house. Renardo, Ray. Oh, my bad. Renardo McCall. I'm going to keep using that one. I got to keep using that. Every time I see Renardo, I'm calling Renardo Ray. Yo! We got Sal. Sal 319's in the building. Welcome to the house, Sal. Come on in, Sal. You bring the beer, Sal. Anthony McDowell. Antonio in the house. Trust No Party and Bruce Newsom came through with Skeptical Jerk. And honestly telling. Sound like a snitch to me. I'm honestly telling. You ain't gonna tell on us, are you? Honestly, I'm telling. Yo, what is up, Crumb in the building. So yeah, we're here. We're back. Oh, look, hey, Antonio. Robert Lockhart. What up, Rob? Uli, Christine. We got an Uli Christine sighting in the building. What's up, Uli? How you doing, sir? I met Uli in real life. Yeah, when I was on the tour with Lee Camp. Uli met my son TJ. We were there filming. Yeah. What's up, Moses? Moses in the building. How you doing, Moses? What's happening? And I'm just doing a scroll, man. I like going through, man, and just saying hello to everybody, man, because, man, it's a blessing to be able to do something you love to do and have people come through and check it out, man. So thank y'all for being here, man, and contributing to the success. Jorge and Ebony and Ghislaine, the Ghislaine conspiracy theory. All right. Hey, I had too much honesty, eh? Yeah. It's such thing as too much honesty. Believe me, I've been married a while. You can be too honest. I ain't asked you all that. Baby, I don't mean no harm, but I ain't asked you all that. I don't need to know all that. I'm gonna stay married if you know what I'm saying. Ronk, what's up, Ronk Station? Ronk is in the building, man. Thank you, Ronk, for doing what you do, man. Oh, friend. Welcome back. Your dreams are your ticket out. Welcome back. Yo, man, so look, this is what we got going on, man. We got this thing going on. It's called content. Yeah, we got the content going on, and we be up in here just trying to make it happen on the Tim Black Show. Tonight's topic is Hakeem dodges. Kamala Deflects. Or Kamala Deflections. RFK takes the gloves off on Congress. Is Derek Chauvin getting pardoned? And I got so many things, I just couldn't fit them all in, guys. So, Ben and Jerry's, the ice cream entrepreneurs, Ben and Jerry's, got thrown out of Congress. One of them, my brother, Ben Cohen. And I call him my brother because he's been on the Tim Black Show, man. He came here, Ben and Jerry were on the show, man. They believe in ending qualified immunity, too. They started an organization called the Campaign to End Qualified Immunity, and I support that. They even put me on their website, man. I was giving out books about ending qualified immunity, man. He's, Ben's a good guy. But we got to be honest tonight, Ben. I'm going to be very honest, Ben. Got to be honest always, but, I got to be honest, and I'm just divulging that I rock with, Ben's. We're going to talk about Biden's cognitive decline. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover tonight, Johnson, so we want to get into it, man. I want everybody to know, man, look, just updates, man. Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a 2-hour-long show. 2-hour-long interview or conversation, chopping it up with my friend Dana with the Data. Dana with the Data was my guest over the weekend. We're going to release the full show on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Johnson. If you're a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, you've had access since Sunday. If you become a member of the show, when I have guests on the show, when I put, I'm going to put them out, but I'm going to give them to you first. I'm going to give you the content first because you are a member of the show. You are what keeps the show going. Like if nobody want to advertise on my videos, if nobody will buy merch, I got you guys. You guys contribute to the show big time. So I've been trying to come up with ways to make it worth your while. I know people's money is tight, man. They don't want to just give money away just because I got a magnetic smile and a great voice. And happen to be right about a lot of things and wrong about things, but seem to be a decent guy overall. That ain't enough reason for you to give your money up. You know what I'm saying? But if I can give you stuff you care about, we got the Tim Black mug, man. You got to buy that though. Go to timblackmug.com and get one of these. It's dishwasher, microwave, and hater safe. Tim Black mug, $20 to your door, Johnson. And I got a shipment going out and left out today. What can I say, fam? So when you support the Tim Black Show, you become a member by going to jointimblack.com, or if you join on YouTube, you're going to get access to content before everybody else, before the general public gets it. It's my way of giving you an incentive to be a member. So Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dana with the Data and I, we talk news. But I got more. Tomorrow I'm doing a show with none other than Shamichael Singleton. And we're going to talk news. We're going to talk politics. We're going to talk politics. A little bit of culture, I think, will probably slide in, but mostly politics. Now, Shamichael Singleton is a CNN contributor. And, He wanted to come on the Tim Black Show. I invited him on the Tim Black Show. He accepted. We've been talking. It's cool. So we're going to do the same thing. Once again, guys, I'm going to have a long-form interview with Shamichael Singleton. I'm going to put out clips, let people know I'm doing it. And if you're a member of the show, you're going to get it within a couple days. Probably Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. But if you're not, you're going to wait till Friday. Because, why? Not because I'm a jackass, but because I got to give members something for being members. If you're a VIP of the Tim Black Wolfpack, you get something for it. So, yeah, man, we're doing things. And what's also dope about it is having Dana with the data come through, having Dr. Musa Abdullah come through, having Brother Shamichael Singleton come through. This helps us get other people on the show, which means we become more, this platform will become more powerful. It can make more of an impact. It can help more people. It can inform more people. And yeah, welcome back. We good? Are we good? Black Mamba says support the Tim Black Show by going to timblackmug.com. Thank you, Black Mamba, for your support as well. All right, family. Let's get off into some content. Why don't ya? Oh, today's show. Let's start today's show with Soft Warm Classic. Yeah, okay, so Soft Warm Classic. We're promoting Soft Warm Classic. And yeah, let me start the show. And with this commercial, then we'll run off into the show. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
TikTok made me try Soft Warm Classic. Let's get into it. Y'all, this Juneteenth tee is everything. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement. The fabric, soft as butter. The message, loud and proud. From Juneteenth celebrations to everyday slay, this tee's got you covered. Soft Warm Classic is serving up Black excellence, and I'm here for it. Don't sleep on this, fam. Hit up softwarmclassic.com and level up your wardrobe game.
Go to Soft Warm Classic, pick up one of their Juneteenth shirts. And I'm going to give you a discount on that. We're going to put it in the description box below. They were supposed to send me that, but I told them I'd run it and start letting people know about Soft Warm Classic. So yeah, they got a softwarmclassic.com is where you go. Softwarmclassic.com. Okay. Very well, Johnson. Let's get into it, man. And yeah, I want to get into this. This is going to be something. Okay, guys, so I don't know why people brought this up, how this has become a thing, but it has become a thing. They keep talking about Derek Chauvin being pardoned. I keep hearing this everywhere. You know, last month or so, people have been talking about it pretty strongly. Let's talk about it, folks. Is this a possibility? What the hell is going on? Let's jump onto it.
New civil unrest over the. There are concerns tonight about new civil unrest over the murder of George Floyd. This month marks 5 years since his death sparked protests and riots here locally and around the world. And the city, county, and state are preparing for new potential protests. Jay Coles is here to explain why. Jay?
Yeah, Kevin, multiple sources tell me there are two things driving this. First, in recent weeks, we've seen calls from conservative commentators for President Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin. Second, sources tell me the city of Minneapolis is almost certain the Department of Justice next week will move to end its consent decree over the MPD because it's happened in other cities. So preparations are happening now, just days before the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder. This is what Minneapolis looked like after former MPD officer Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. And it's something state and city leaders do not want to see happen again. I spoke with 6 total sources today. They tell me Governor Tim Walz, the Minnesota National Guard, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Mayor Jacob Frey, and Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt have all been briefed on a potential Chauvin pardon and the possible end to the federal consent decree that called for extensive reform at MPD. And tonight, law enforcement is now preparing for possible civil unrest if those two things happen. Mayor Fry is not talking about those plans, but as Commissioner of Community Safety, Todd Barnett, in a statement says, quote, "We've heard the same rumors as everyone else, but the bottom line is that Derek Chauvin would remain behind bars, serving his state sentence, even if his federal charges are pardoned. To be clear, we have no credible intelligence about any pardon or planned disruptions here in Minneapolis." Sources tell me the Minnesota Department of Corrections would be ready to take Chauvin from a federal penitentiary in Arizona to Oak Park Heights maximum security prison here in Minnesota. Attorney General Ellison telling MSNBC over the weekend, Chauvin's not going free.
He still owes Minnesota 22 and a half years, and he's going to do it either in Minnesota or somewhere, but he's not getting out.
Then on Monday, Governor Walz told reporters,
"No indication whether they're going to do it or not, but I think it behooves us to be prepared for it with this presidency, that it seems like that might be something they would do."
And in March, White House reporters asked Trump if he would pardon Chauvin.
Your allies are calling on you to pardon Derek Chauvin. Are you considering pardoning Derek Chauvin?
No, I haven't even heard about it.
Now, we did reach out to the White House tonight. We have not heard back. If the Justice Department petitions the court next Thursday to drop the consent decree with MPD, sources tell me the city intends to challenge that move. That would mean a decision from the judge would then come about 4 to 6 weeks after both sides have filed their legal briefs. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jay Coles, 5 Eyewitness News.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, man, let's talk about this. Derek Chauvin receiving a pardon from Donald Trump. Man, I've covered it on this show before. Trump says he has no intentions of pardoning Derek Chauvin. In fact, how would it help Donald Trump to do that when the guy wouldn't even get free? Even if he believed that Derek Chauvin deserves a pardon, it wouldn't do any good because he still got to go to jail for another 20 years in Minnesota. Other than a symbolic nod to people that watch Tim Pool and Tucker Carlson, what else good would it do? They're already voting for you. You know, look, I get it, man. People think that Trump is, on the take and, he's willing to do whatever for his base. I understand why you say that. It's kind of crazy, but okay, I get what you're saying. The thing is, though, they're already his base. Like, he's not going to gain. Is there anybody holding out on Trump going, if you don't pardon Derek Chauvin, I'm voting for Kamala Harris? No. See what I'm saying? Like, logically, it makes no sense. You only stand to lose and give Democrats a huge press cycle. That's all it does. It doesn't benefit Trump to do it from a strategic leverage type of situation. But let's say you don't care about that. You believe that Trump is such a flaming racist, bigot, or whatever, that he wouldn't care if it hurts him politically and it doesn't give him anything. But he just wants to do it. Okay, fine. Why come when we had Biden in office, he didn't operate so cutthroat? That's what I'm trying to tell people, man. Like, you had Joe Biden, he was a Democrat, he was in office. Was he willing to just do whatever he wanted to do to please his base? Hell no. That's why I always pointed out to the Democrats. You're always pointing your finger. You always got some crap to say. But and I know that Biden did not operate that way. So that's why Trump's got a big fan base and Biden and the Democrats don't. Because they never jump out the window. Though people say they do, they never jump out the window on policies from the left. Just a mere mention of AOC's name has Republicans trying to shame Democrats and say, well, they'll do whatever for the left, the left. I keep hearing Stephen A. Smith make these claims, but the reality, folks, it's not so true. It's not so true. They be ignoring, trying to saddle, they throw on their primaries, throw on their elections. They do not work with all elements of the Democratic Party. So yeah. The other thing is the reporter said these conservative commentators are calling for it. So? Yes, so what does that mean? I'm calling for stuff, and I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal or conservative. I'm just Tim Black. I believe in what I believe in, and I stand on it. But there are all types of people calling for all types of things every day. What does that mean? Oh, because some conservative commentators are calling for it, that means it's going to happen because Ben Shapiro likes Derek Chauvin or thinks Derek Chauvin was railroaded. Nah, man, that ain't how life works. Unless you got something to offer, no one's interested. And I'm not even getting into the merits of the case, though I did cover the George Floyd case extensively. This ain't even about that. The dude's convicted. He's got federal and state charges. And this whole crap, I do want to add, this whole thing about consent decrees, who cares? People talk like consent decrees are a great thing. It's amazing, whatever. What's going on with this thing, man? It's starting to, something's happening. These consent decrees don't mean nothing, Johnson. They're toothless. It's like a dog with the gout. You know what I'm saying? The consent decrees don't mean anything. Nothing. It doesn't change the price of tea in China or the price of an egg roll in Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody care about no damn consent decrees. So whatever they got hooked up in Minnesota, come on, man. Police gone police, okay? This idea that, oh no, the consent decree's going. So we got the Democrats leaning into talk from the fringe or from commentators that no one gives a damn about in the grand scheme of things, who've been saying for 4 or 5 years, Derek Chauvin got railroaded. If that was the case, it never would have been a federal case. Okay? People forget Derek Chauvin went to jail under Trump. Didn't he? I mean, am I tripping? Am I remembering this correctly? It's been 5 years. 4 of those years were with Biden. Yeah, that's right. All right, so here we go. But people are so deranged, they think this now, just in case I'm wrong about Trump. Just in case I'm wrong about Trump, I want to say, I don't think it should be pardoned. But let's talk a little bit about the people that are pushing for the pardoning of Derek Chauvin. Besides, Candace Owens. Let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's been making a lot of noise about it, folks. When they bring it up, this is probably who they're referring to.
Obviously.
I believe, it's very unpopular to talk about it. So
Why?
Obviously, Tucker, I'm going to talk about it.
Well, good.
Yeah, I think I do believe this is one of the biggest injustices happening in our country today. I believe it's an attack on him because he's white. And
folks.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is a simple Simon. Isn't that what Roland called him, a simple Simon? Yo, man, I don't agree with Roland on a lot, but I agree on that part. Yeah. Check this out, guys. If you could actually look into a camera with all the things that are going on in America and say, one of the biggest problems we got in this country is Derek Chauvin's behind bars, you totally lost the thread. Like, you are living in la-la land. You are delusional. Either that or you're one of the world's biggest liars ever given a podium. I mean, folks, we got homeless people living outside of warm, empty buildings. And some of these homeless people are vets, and some are citizens been paying, citizens who paid into our systems, homeless living in front of buildings that are boarded up. So we got kids, in a record level, obesity levels. We got kids, low reading comprehension scores. We've got a number of things, human trafficking. We got all these problems. And we got this bleached blonde bimbo. Or was that the other one? Yeah, that's the other one. What's the one, the other one that shouldn't be in Congress? Go back for the, you know the other one. Olive oil from Popeye, whatever her name is. Listen, guys, if you're sitting here with a straight face saying that these are our problems are Derek Chauvin, and you leave out all those other things I just mentioned. All of them. Like the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is not gambling debts. It's not going down to the casino. It's getting sick. Yeah, getting sick. And illness. And we got this weirdo saying it has something to do with Derek Chauvin.
He's male.
Obviously.
I believe that it's political and they have to crucify him because he was a police officer. He had a great record. He did nothing wrong.
We don't care about records. Yeah, we don't care about his record. I haven't looked up his record. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you did. You know, Timothy McVeigh probably had a good record until he blew up the Oklahoma building, wasn't it? He probably was pretty much a straight and narrow. Dylan Roof probably didn't shoot 4 people until he did. You know, until he did shoot 4 people. No one gets to get judged that way. Oh, well, you know, before he killed those 20 people, he was clean. He was a choir boy. You know, so that doesn't matter. Okay? That doesn't matter at all. Not at all. If he kept his damn knee, hand, elbow, whatever, to himself, we're not sitting here even talking about it. Yeah, he controlled that situation. And it went bad, and it's on him, period, point blank. End of story. This idea that white men are the most aggrieved people in America. Do you know anything at all? Here's my thing. Here's my thing to all the white guys. Because I see a lot of sellout black conservatives kissing your ass because they want you to join their Patreon. Listen, I just want to tell you something. Since you think that black people got it so much better than white guys, let's trade places. Yeah, just like the show Trading Places. Let's switch up, baby. Since you believe that black people got it so good because one black person got a check cut because one of your good old boys killed him. Killed their family member. Oh, these people are delusional. You know, most black people do not get settlements, $1 million settlements through the government like Breonna Taylor's family. Most black people just lose a loved one and have an empty seat at the table just like everybody else. Like, you're looking at one that, you're like, black people doing so well. Yeah, if you judge everybody by LeBron, but everybody's not LeBron or Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey. You know how? You know why? Because those are individual people. Just like every white person isn't Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or Marjorie Taylor Greene's goofy ass. So just cut the cap. When can you see that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Bo Burt and all of them and Candace Owens and Officer Scrotum or scrape them or take them to the cleaners with the lies, that these people are just playing on your bigotry to get money? It's called the grift. They're not grifting us, doofy. They're grifting you. You're the grifted. Let's see what else she has to say. I'm sure it's going to be uninteresting, but you know.
And he is white and male and Christian. So they have to make an example of him because that is the type of person in America and arguably the entire world they want to kill.
That they want to kill? Man, somebody let her know that there are people of all types of nationalities dying all across the globe every day. So now you think because this one cop goes in, you know, the folks, I mean, it's one thing to be dumb. You got to be super dumb. She's like steel reinforced dumb. Titanium level. Ninja level 14,026 level dumb. You understand what I'm saying? Folks, to coin a phrase from Chris Rock, if white people ain't winning, who is? because it damn sure ain't us. I mean, you really think this? Have you just look at crypto. Look at all the crypto millionaires running around. Most of them are white guys. Look at all the executive positions. Yeah, 2 black people get an executive job, and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene try to convince you that there goes all the jobs, they're going to DEI. You know, folks, 1% of cops ever get tried. And of that 1% of cops that get tried, maybe 3% get convicted of anything. And I mean anything, including jaywalking. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got more of a chance going to jail if you're an Amazon driver than going to jail if you're a cop. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Are you listening? These are numbers. This is the data. Okay? Stop being gaslit by lying Republicans who know you're just so easy to be lied to, because it just taps into your victim mentality. All right, besides her, and she's goofy as hell. Here goes Tim Pool. Tim Pool, he made comments as well. Let's go with him.
A fair trial would not be possible. If a judge were to say, a fair trial would not be possible, so we're going to do it here anyway, would you find that acceptable in terms of how our system is supposed to work?
No, but I've never heard a judge say that.
So
a judge, I've never heard a judge say, and by the way, I'm having a little difficulty here because I think now it's a little too loud, and I don't know if I'm talking weird because I'm...
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I've never heard a judge say, I admit you couldn't get a fair trial here, but we're going ahead with the trial anyway. And I don't agree with every judge, but that's just something.
And what do you think would be like? Let's say that hypothetically happened, and there was someone who was being charged with a crime, and the judge said they petitioned for a change of venue, and the judge says there's nowhere you can go that will free you from the bias of this place, so we're doing it here anyway.
I don't think that would be right, and somebody would be petitioning somebody. I mean, even in those cases, there is such a thing as judicial prejudice. Somebody would be arguing that there was judicial prejudice, and the case would not stop there.
What if the case did stop there, and the man
if the
just went
case
to prison?
did stop there, I'd be the first to say this is wrong.
So will you stand up in defense of Derek Chauvin?
Wow.
Derek Chauvin,
I
petitioned
know
for a
who
change
Derek
of venue.
What a disingenuous jackass. All right, let's keep close. This is hilarious, Johnson. This is hilarious. She got stuck. Just her expression. Let's rewind it just for fun. That's
Chauvin.
Wow.
Derek Chauvin petitioned for a change of venue,
and
the judge said there's no venue you can go to where you'll be free of any bias, so we do it here anyway. So is the issue...
Wasn't there some legitimacy to that, given the fact that everybody saw the video? Everybody saw the video, so how could there be a lack of prejudice anywhere?
Right.
So are you saying...
So the question is about the Constitution and what is fair in the court of law, and not what we want to have happened because of our feelings.
I don't think
if the issue is a judge says there will be no fair trial for you, my argument is then there's no trial at all. And the man should be released because that's a limitation of our democratic system.
That's what your argument would be?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Look, man, I gotta say, man, there are people that give this guy hard-earned money and to give them their viewership, and they think that Tim Pool is smart. And you can't argue with the market. Obviously he is. He has a whole lot of subscribers. You know what's funny? Here goes something. Okay, since Rodney Hinton Jr. Yeah, since Rodney Hinton Jr., the tape is everywhere and it's all over the media. It's going to be impossible for him to get a fair trial because people are tainted by that. And having all those police officers in that court like they were was intimidating. It also sent a certain signal to anybody potential juror that could have saw this. And it's been viral for a week now. Maybe we should just go ahead and let him go because, like you just said, I mean, it's going to be difficult to get a fair trial. Why do we got to wait for a judge to say it? I mean, it's obvious people are going to be influenced by the footage they've seen. Right, Tim? Right, Timmy? So that means forget a trial. I got a feeling you would feel differently, wouldn't you, Tim? Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the problem with being a hypocrite. It shows that you're, a hypocrite. Yeah, folks, listen, man. With Tim Pool's logic, there should never, ever be a black person convicted of anything at any time. We should always walk free because studies show that juries give black people, even with the same charges as white people with the same records, more time just for being black. And since we know that's true, since we know it, based on data, historical data, that juries have a propensity to give black people more time, and find them guilty more often, even with the same presented evidence. That means we should never convict a black person of anything at any time, ever, no matter what. Right, Tim? Oh, I can hear it now. Oh, Tim, that's radical. That's crazy talk. Well, it's not crazy when he says it because you agree with him about Chauvin. But if I say it about anybody else, you lose your mind. And if I tell you, hey, there's biases in every court, how when murderers are convicted of murder and they've committed similar crimes that have similar backgrounds, for some reason, they decide to give the black guy the lethal injection and the white guy gets life in prison more often. Why is that? I say, well, based on that, we should never, ever give a black person the death penalty because it's unfairly meted out to black people disproportionately. What would you say to that, Tim? All of a sudden you start beatboxing like Dougie Fresh. See, this is a problem. Once again, this is a problem with you being hypocrites. It's the hypocrisy part. And every once in a while, you got somebody like Tim Black that can pick that thing apart, man. Not unlike Darryl Green of the Washington Redskins back in the 90s. Early 90s. It was more like 80s, wasn't it? Look, man, so look, this whole idea that Derek Chauvin should walk is garbage. Okay? He ain't walking anywhere except into another prison cell in Minnesota. Okay? That's where he's walking to. And it's his own fault. It's his own fault. But see, the way the system works is, we got Derek Chauvin, you got Daniel Penny. Yeah, why'd you think they let Daniel Penny choke out the 125-pound lightweight unarmed homeless guy who hadn't hurt anybody that day in any way? Why do you think that happened? You think it happened in a vacuum, Goofy? No, it happened because it's the big payback, the big payback, the big payback, the big payback. So, yeah. Derek Chauvin is not going free. I don't care how many documentaries Candace Owens makes millions off gaslighting you goofies. And for the record, some of you sitting here right now have various substances in your bloodstream. If you die, doesn't mean you die because of those substances. If I put a bullet, or someone, not me, if someone were to run over you, let's say if someone runs over you with a truck, you could have just ate a kilo. But if someone hits you with a truck, because, it's crazy to say it was a kilo that died him. You get where I'm going, right? Yeah, okay, so two things can exist. I'll suggest that 50% of people that end up shot ate McDonald's or some type of fast food within 48 hours before their deaths, probably, yes. I just think if you're eating a lot of fast food, you probably deserve to get shot, but that's probably not right. It's not fair at all. That's not fair at all. A lot of good people eat garbage. Point is this, it doesn't mean the fast food killed you. That's it. Even if you had an overabundance of quarter pounders in your system. But you're so gaslit because you want to believe anything. Well, believe this, since you want to believe anything. If you really think white guys got it bad, go get yourself some black makeup. Get a little bass in your voice, Tim Pool. And pretend to be a black guy for a week and see how it goes for you. Let's see if you get preferential treatment at the bank. Freaking Ryan Coogler couldn't even withdraw money out of his own account without getting arrested because he talks black with a black intonation from the West Coast. That doesn't happen to white guys. But yeah, put on the makeup, do a reverse. Yeah, that's what we should do. None of these people want to do it. They just want to complain, and they got a bunch of captive goofies. They got a bunch of white guys that believe anything. They want someone to tell them there's a reason why they suck and make up dumb things like black fatigue. I got white fatigue. I've had it for a long time. It's called just being black in America. But you jackasses, do me a favor. One of you had a heart, the guts. You want to go viral like Mr. Beast, Tim Pool, Tucker Carlson fan, whatever you are? Go do a reverse Eddie Murphy on SNL when he put on the white guy makeup and walked around. Remember that joke? Do it in real life. And then report back. Have someone film it. Like Officer, like OCDA, like Officer Reginald, what's his name? Damn it. What's my guy's name on YouTube? Officer Rutherford Ratledge. Officer Ratledge at OCDA. OSHA Cares. Yeah, go do one of his things, have somebody film it, and you go around with life for a week as a black person. You get a pass through the blackface for this one time in this experiment. I want to see how life is so much better for you. I want to see it. Show us all. That's how you prove it. You don't prove it by having people like Marjorie Taylor Greene lie to the world that white men are under attack. All right, enough. Let's keep it going, Johnson. I can stay here for a while. Put in the comment section what you believe. Do you think that white guys got it bad? Do you think it's really so hard being white? In America, white men, white men have it the easiest in America, man. I can't believe, like, I think the majority of white men, I know what it is. I guess if you're not winning, I sound crazy, but dog. Yeah, I talk about immigration. I talk about these things. These are problems. Joe Biden and that damn border is a problem. But on balance, like, I can't just look at that. On balance, you listen to Jason Whitlock, he just wants your viewership, Goofy. There's been studies done. There is data out there. If you want to be something in America, you want your best shot at success in America, you need to be a white guy or Asian guy. That's just what it is. If you can't be either one of those things, be a young white woman who got some work done. There you go. And anybody who denies this is denying reality. Do me a favor, guys. If you think I'm right, give me a 1 up in the comment section. If you think I'm wrong, give me a 0. And then we're going to fund an experiment. Hell, maybe I need to do it. Put on some white makeup and see how life treats me. All right. That's it, guys. Next. I don't even know what's next. Well, I do know what's next. Let's go.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
On that night, she won the election. Why did Trump win by such a big margin? It wasn't even that, for modern days, it wasn't that close. Why did he win Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and other states and Arizona? He won them because People thought he said what he meant and meant what he said. And while they didn't like how he articulated it, which is exactly what's happening right now, they wanted that agenda. Why did she lose when she had the election? She had more money than God, had an amazing debate performance that everyone saw. There was never another debate. She'd gone into the lead there. Why did she lose? She lost because of herself. In the end, it's not just what's going on around you. You have to tell people what you're for. You have to tell them what you will do. And you have to be able to show that you can get it done. I remember what a big deal it was when she was made the immigration czar. I was around. I saw this. And then during the campaign, she tries to run away from it. Oh, I wasn't important. I had nothing to do. Own it. Be sincere with people. Let them see you. Acknowledge, as I'm doing right here, right now. I got that election wrong. I knew Trump was going to win 2 weeks before, but I knew he was going to lose after that debate because no one had ever recovered from such a bad debate performance. Governor, the public deserves the truth. The public deserves candor. They have the right to know when we got it wrong. And if you can't admit you got it wrong, then you probably don't deserve to have your position. And they need to know what you're going to do so you don't get it wrong in the future.
Next.
Yeah, man, look, I got a hard time with people that can't accept reality. You know what I'm saying? Democratic Party can't accept reality. Yes, it is this far gone. We have 4 months out, not from her losing. We're about 6 months out. And they're still having these conversations about why she lost, Johnson. Kamala Harris and her people still can't accept reality. Man, I know breakups are hard. I understand that. It's hard when you got your mind set on that you're going to live for happily ever after and something happens. But at some point, you got to get out. Got to accept reality. She upgraded. Or she didn't, or whatever, but she ain't with you. Or he ain't with you. And you got to go on. You got to start seeing other people, or at least admit maybe you could have put the toilet seat down, or maybe blowing all the rent money or the mortgage money on other women, or being a black woman with a shopping spree problem is a problem. Being a black woman saying, I remember this one black woman said, I'm a shopaholic. I said, all right, nothing. It's going to be single forever. She married a guy and divorced him within 2 years. Because I knew when she said that. She wasn't making $300,000 a year. The point is this, folks. Here's the point, man. And this is what I'm trying to say. The Democrats and Kamala Harris team and these morons don't want to admit she just sucked. Okay? She did. And that's what it is. You can't wrap your head around reality. There'll be no moving on. All right? There's no moving on if you can't accept you're lost. You can't get in a position to win because you don't understand what you did wrong. They're still talking about it. Still talking about it. It's like when I hear people talk about Kamala Harris, they're still trying to rehash this. They remind me of the goofies that keep on tossing around the idea that maybe Tupac is on an island somewhere, chilling, living his best life. No, he died long time ago. It's 20 years. Same with Biggie and Elvis. These people are gone. No one gets to stay forever, and they got their clocks punched early. Well, not Elvis. He died on the toilet because he was such a degenerate. But you know what I'm saying. The point is this, man. Kamala Harris, horrible job of selling herself to the people. Just took responsibility for nothing. That's the only time when that accountability would work, but she's not black. She's Jamaican Indian or something. Luntz is boring, but he's right this time. He is. It's just, just hard to, but I gotta give him props. I that he is calling this what it is. And also, I do enjoy, folks, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is very enjoyable to see Gavin Newsom smile like this. And I don't mean it in a Sunny Hostin weird way when her husband's sitting over there with those indictments hanging over his head and she's flirting with Gavin Newsom. What I mean, folks, is he's smiling because, yeah, talking about Kamala getting her ass kicked is pretty funny. And I just think it's, yeah, that's when you know you lost power in the party, when they're actually laughing. He's enjoying this. He didn't look uncomfortable at all. Usually when they're talking about how Kamala stunk it up, like right after the election, all the Democrats were like lock, stock, like right in line. They all looked like they had bad stomach problems, like they had indigestion when you would bring up Kamala Harris. Oh, they would just feel uncomfortable. America's so racist. Now, at least we've moved past that. America's racist. Yeah, some racism in America and some genderism and misogyny and toe jam and bad tacos and egg rolls that aren't fried hard. There's all these problems in America, man. There's mambo sauce. It ain't really mambo sauce. It's ketchup with a bunch of sugar in it and vinegar that's not done right. Other than say guy that boils his crabs instead of steams them like we do here in Maryland. Crab balls, you know what I'm talking about? So it's all these types of disgusting practices that are done in America. But I will give it up to those people finally who smelled the coffee and realized Kamala was not a good candidate. She was not a good campaigner. She blew a lot of money. She set more money on. He set more money than God. She set the money on fire. Paid off her friends for future favors, I assume. It was a waste of time. All right. Accept reality, Democrats. Look, the first way to solve a problem is to admit you have a problem. All right, guys, let's go to the next one. What else we got?
But I knew he was going to lose after that debate.
With Tim Black.
Problem that we have here.
Did he mean go south at the debate in that Joe Biden totally, had a malfunction the way we saw, or did he mean just go south at the debate like he doesn't perform well? The fact
it could have been both.
The fact that he was only concerned about the optics and not about the fact that the president of the United States might be in cognitive decline, might be mentally impaired, to me speaks volumes about the lack of character of Chuck Schumer. But the idea that we did not know about this for the years leading up to the presidential campaign, we all saw it with our own eyes. Video after video, speech after speech, statement after statement. The Her report. The fact that we have people saying today, I didn't know. We had no idea, is outrageous. That's number one. Number two, the cover-up is outrageous. And number three, people were arguing with a straight face that this man could serve 4 more years until, of course, it became untenable at the debate. Honestly, Jake and Alex have done a great service here. This book needs to be written. These stories need to be told because we've lived through the greatest scandal in modern American political history, the cover-up of the decline of the president, the argument that he could serve 4 more years. If he were in office today, if he had somehow won and were in office today, you'd have the same people on TV today saying, he's fine. So, behind closed doors, he's fine, and you know it.
I love that part. That part right there, Johnson. He nailed it. These same people, including Jake and Alice too, Scott. I know you don't want to throw your coworkers under the bus. You just gave them props, but let's call a thing a thing. Jake was one of the people denying that Biden was, incapacitated or glitching. You call it malfunctioning? Yeah, Jake was one of those people denying it. I covered that on this channel too. But these are the same people that would deny those problems. If he would have skated somehow into another, if he could have ran and won or something, they would all be denying reality right now. Right now. In fact, he could just be a hit in a jar, and they would still be denying that there's anything wrong with him because they are that conflicted. And really, there is no confliction. They are compromised. They are bad actors. They're not in it for us. They're in it for themselves and their stinking party, which is in it for themselves, which is totally self-serving. That includes all of them, Jasmine Crockett to AOC, all of them. None of them are calling out Joe Biden. None of them. Nobody Democratic except for Dean Phillips and RFK Jr. were calling, and I don't even remember if RFK Jr. was calling the guy incapacitated. We've been calling Joe Biden incapacitated since 2019, when we got a good look at him during that election. So yeah. One more time for the people in the cheap seats.
This book needs to be written. These stories need to be told because we've lived through the greatest scandal in modern American political history, the cover-up of the decline of the president, the argument that he could serve 4 more years. If he were in office today, if he had somehow won and were in office today, you'd have the same people on TV today saying, he's fine. So, behind closed doors, he's fine, and you know it.
I'm for extreme transparency when it comes to presidents, their tax returns, whatever it is. I want to know all the information I can get.
Goofy, you didn't want to know that Biden was goofy, that he was loopy. You didn't want to know that, though, did you, Van? No, you didn't want to know that. Because you like jobs and money and pandering to Democrats. We've already exposed you. It's horrible, Josh.
On men and women, people who seek the highest office. The reality is this. I was actually at the fundraiser that he was there with President Obama and with Jimmy Kimmel. He's between 2 of the sharpest guys in culture. And it was obvious that something was wrong. And when the average people...
And did you talk about it? Because you've had a platform for several years after you got that argument with Kanye West. Did you talk about it, Van? Did you alert all the black people that follow you, that know who you are, this group of black folks that think you're the revolutionary? I don't know why they would think that. Now, he wants to operate within the system, get all the cookies, and then try to claim that he is as blunt and real as me. He ain't. Or someone like me. Of the ilk of calling it real. Okay? My thing is, Van, when you had an opportunity, there you go. Man, you were privy to this in real time. Did you lead that event? Cut on your damn phone, Van. Did you go live? Did you... Y'all ain't gonna believe it. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Joe Biden is, he done. He's glitching all over the place. Did you do that, Van? Or did you just be quiet and keep it to yourself and sit back while Uncle Luke, D.L. Hughley, huge liar, Roland Martin, and the rest of them chastise black people from one end of the internet to the other about us not being excited about Kamala or Joe? Yeah, I just want to know. Because what you did in that moment matters. Because unlike some of us, you were privy to it in real time. And here you go. Armchair quarterbacking. I mean, coming back later after it's all said and done and pretending like, you know, that you would have did something different. You part of the problem, Van. You just told us that you're part of the problem. Let's see what he says, Tim. What if he says the right thing and you're giving him all this work for nothing?
Made that observation, they were told over and over and over by political establishment that something was wrong with their eyes. Look,
you knew it. Cheap fakes.
Cheap
fakes. The word was cheap fakes.
So here's the deal.
I think we also have the video of Obama guiding Biden off the stage that
What about you, Abby? You saw the video when it came out. Did you use your CNN platform to alert the public that we have a crisis of leadership? See what I'm saying, guys? These people have the thing I don't have. So I'm living because they have it. And how do they use it? To cover for the establishment. Now, don't tell me we were told to believe them, not our lying eyes. See, just admit you a flunky, dog. Everyone needs to admit that they're just flunkies who are flunkies. Just admit it. Look, if you just say, look, I'm in it for the cash. See, that's the thing about Charleston White that I respect. I don't respect much about his takes. And occasionally, he gets something right. But the point is, he tells you, man, I ain't real. Charleston White says, I'm not real. This is an act. I'm trying to get this paper. But not Abby. Abby and Van and Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow, Anderson Cooper, all these people need to all disclose the reality that what they're there for.
Biden campaign, vociferously denied was some kind of sign of his decline, but you see it there, man.
Yeah, I'm in the audience there, right? And everybody's watching it and everybody's kind of seeing it. Look, for the infrastructure of the party, your girl goes through your text messages. It's better when all the information is out. You're in a better situation when everything is on the table. You know how you done messed up. You guys can begin the healing. Just begin the healing and get over it. Obviously, there was some deception, but you have to move past it now. But nobody was fooled once they put eyes on Joe
But
Biden.
it wasn't just deception about a campaign. The man was the sitting president of the United States. There's more at stake here than just politics. There's in-the-moment decision-making. Was the country at risk? Who was making decisions on behalf?
Right. Dog, if you people in media, folks, listen, this says, now you can't say, look at these horrible politicians. They're politicians. Forget that. I'm talking to the media people whose only purpose is supposedly to give us the information. They failed us. You don't have a problem with that, America? Look, man, I got nothing but love for some of you. A lot of you, people that watch the Tim Black Show. Some of you guys, I've known you guys over a decade, some of you. Some of you hold me to standards that are insurmountable for a person. My politics has changed over 14 years. I wonder if you did something for 14 years, if you've ever changed. Putting in 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week and looking at a party close up and working on campaigns and bringing on candidates and doing countless interviews. Yeah, I'm very much soured on the Democratic Party, but here's the thing, guys. You hold me to a standard you don't hold the rest of these people to. You have to agree with me if something's wrong with me. What about you? These people have platforms. They lied to everyone for years. And they were willing to watch us go into a new term with a guy who they knew should have finished out his last term. But you won't quibble with me because you don't agree with me on deportation? You wanna have a beef with me over I'm not hard enough on Trump? Really? Really? Dog. Nah, man. As usual, the people you should be going after are the Abby Phillips, are the Van Lathens, are the Rachel Maddows, are the Anderson Coopers, are the CNNs and MSNBCs who would lie to defend an incompetent president. Well, Tim, we don't support, you don't support me, really, not really. Just watch. All right, man, look. I'm going to let him finish out. Let him finish out. This is at a difference of opinion. These people knew what they're all admitting is they knew there was a problem and they knew it was a problem. They decided that their jobs were more important than doing their job. They're keeping their jobs is more of a priority than doing their job well. That's what they decided. And there's no repercussions. And then Jake Tapper and this Alice person who I don't know. Jake Tapper's one of the person that kept the lie going. He chastised people who called out Biden's decline. I covered it here. And then a year later, he goes out and writes a book about all the people that deceived us and blames the politicians. He doesn't blame himself for not doing a CNN expose on it when he had the opportunity. He could have quit CNN, created a Substack, and do exactly what everybody's doing. Chuck Todd, out of job, he complaining too, talking about what the Democrats didn't divulge, or talking about whatever, and defending the media because politicians were lying. So what could we do? Go against the politicians and lose access? It's horrific, Johnson. It's just, these are the people that consider themselves ethical. There is no ethics. These people are scumbags. They make excuses for not doing the right thing. And then they admit it. Van Lathan just admitted he one of them, he not one of us. And I bet he slept like a baby too. He's got a podcast. What were you learning higherly? Higher learning. What will you learn? What did you learn? You learned to lie like them, to cover for them. All right, man, next. And don't tell me, oh, Tim, give him a pass. No, because we don't listen to Scott Jennings as a culture, as a community. We listen more to Van Lathan. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't take cues from Abby Phillip. Them people gave her a job. We probably wouldn't. People like D.L. Hughley, Van Lathan, Roland Martin, they all covered for Biden. It's disgusting. Then they all lied to us about this. They did the same lie with Kamala, pretending she was a great candidate when she sucked. They all did the same lie. They just lie and lie and lie some more. They just keep on lying like a no-lie relaxer. Just keep on lying.
Half of the country, because obviously the president was impaired and there were people who knew it. There were people, those same people were lying about it publicly. And now the real question is, who was making decisions behind the scenes?
Notice Bakari, he lied too. He lied too. He got on TV and was indignant with people talking about Joe Biden's incompetence. I forgot he was even sitting there. He's so quiet. He's sitting there like he mute. I thought Helen Keller was a white woman. I didn't know it was a boy here, was a black man in his 40s from South Carolina. Bakari, quiet as hell. Because he was one of the people doing it. It's horrible, man. Horrible.
Can't just move past it.
Why did
it happened, and you can't move past it.
Why didn't any of the people around? Why didn't any of the people around Joe Biden say, "Mr. President, don't do this"? I mean, I forget about what they say publicly. Sure. What about privately?
Maybe they did. Who cares? You go public to blow the whistle. Everybody want to be a whistleblower. Everybody got something to say about Trump, but what were you saying about your own party? See, man, it ain't about what you do to the other side. It's about what you do on your side. We expect you to run Trump's name in the dirt. They've been dumping on Trump for 10 years straight, nonstop. That's not courageous. It's not notable. It's what you do. It's what they've been doing. What about when it was time to offer up Biden? His ambitious, hungry, control freak of a wife. Why didn't go after her? Come on, man. You know why.
It doesn't seem that anybody has said that.
Actually,
no. I mean, before it became a public spectacle, in the year before he was on that debate stage.
It's absolutely malpractice. When he said, he promised us that he would do one term, he'd be a bridge. And by the way, Bakari and I are two of the people who, for a very long time in those years, kept saying, let's get the VP ready.
Next on deck.
Yeah, I don't remember Bakari doing that. If he did, he didn't say it loud enough. And I don't remember that. Let's get the VP ready. She sucked too. Man, put in the comment section below, man, what do you think about media? This is the reason why media is so untrustworthy and why people don't trust it. Yeah, that's why, because this right here. And then they want to be upset. They want to blame Trump. Trump made people lose trust in media. Nah, media made people lose trust in media. That's who did it. It's the other way, Goofy. You did it on your own. You were real good at it too. Lying, denying, covering, faking, the funk. Pathetic. People got tired of it. They are tired of it. The only thing people hate more than media is Congress. Oh, and the Democrats. All right, guys, give me a like on this if you thought this segment was good. Let's feed the algorithm a little bit, please. The algorithm's hungry. Nah, man, help me with the algorithm. I'm trying to do something here. Let's keep it going, Johns. Let's keep it going. Buck's got work to do tomorrow. Let's get this show over, Tim.
With Tim Black.
From the book, President Biden didn't even recognize George Clooney at a fundraiser that the movie star was actually hosting for him. Why should voters trust Democrats when it's clear?
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? See, I know I got some people watching that are probably new. Listen, my name is Tim Black. I am a Democratic Party hater, but I'm also very realistic about the Democratic Party. Do you just hear what Wolf Blitzer said? He said, the reason why George Clooney wrote the op-ed is that he did a fundraiser for Biden. Biden showed up and didn't know who the hell George Clooney was. That's like you. A friend throws you a birthday party. You go to his house and you forget who he is. I think that's when people take your keys from you. But not America. Not these jackasses. He's the best president we could ever have. One that lets us run the show. That's what they did. Ron Klain was like, yeah. His guy, Ron Klain, was like his chief of staff or whatever. It's like, yeah, I get to be president. Yeah. Joe ain't president. Yeah, it became a situation. Ron Klain is like the guy that's been with Joe Biden for like 30 years or something. You know, Fridays when there's some famous scenes with Fridays with Debo, Tiny Lister, and Chris Tucker. A couple of scenes, Smokey. And I remember one scene that's hilarious as hell is when they went into the house. They went into my man's house and they stole $40 or something. They came out the house. And I think Craig said, what y'all get? What y'all get? Smokey said, oh man, we got $40. And Debo said, I got $40, punk. That's sort of how the presidency was under Joe Biden. It's like, how you doing, Joe? You like being president? He said, yeah, I'm president. And Ron Klain said, I'm president, punk. It was funnier in my mind. The execution kind of lacked. But what I'm saying is basically that, they used Biden's dementia against him in order to have power. That's my bike, punk.
So many in your party went to great lengths to keep Biden's condition hidden from the public.
I can't tell you what happened between George Clooney and President Biden. I wasn't at that event. What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to
Van Lathan was at that event.
Continue to look forward because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed on behalf of the American people, including the Republican effort to snatch away health care, snatch away food assistance, and hurt veterans.
You interacted with President Biden during those days, those final days he was president of the United States. Did you sense there was a major deterioration?
Well, in the conversations that I was able to have on behalf of the House Democratic Caucus in those final days, we simply expressed our perspective as to what would be best for the party at that given moment in time. President Biden subsequently made the decision that he was going to pass the baton to Vice President Kamala Harris. Of course, that was a decision that we supported strongly.
You know, there are people that call Hakeem Jeffries an empty suit, and I want to take offense to that, because Jeffries is not an empty suit. He's an empty soul. He's soulless. He's the invisible man. He's there, but he's not. He doesn't matter. He's transparent. He's vapor. I don't know. He's not a person. All right? He's just not. Listen, man. Even at this point, he can't be honest. Look, guys, I don't care what game you're playing. I don't know what sport you say you in a baseball. If they decide to pull a pitcher, which is what Joe was, he was the pitcher. Okay, he was running, you know what I'm saying? He was the guy throwing the balls. Okay. In my baseball analogy, Joe Biden, as president of the United States, he is the pitcher. If the coach decides to switch pitchers, which is what Hakeem and Nancy and Obama wanted to do, they had a reason. They had a reason, like you, the dog, you're just giving them home runs. Jesus Christ, Johnson. That's the 5th walk in 6 pitches. The ball's not even making it to the plate. You threw into the outfield. Turn around, Goofy, turn around. What are you throwing at? If they pull the pitcher off the mound and replace him with another pitcher, they have reasons. Hakeem Jeffries here is lying to you and saying, we didn't even discuss the reasons. We just agreed with him that it was time for him to sit his ass down over there and put in Kamala. Like, he's acting like they all came to consensus without even having a conversation. Nah, man. If you replace a player, you know the person, you got a reason. You walk over, you give them the talk. Listen, Joe. Hey, man, having a tough day out there, right? In fact, you don't just pull him, you talk before that. You know, you go up to him, you're like, Joe, Joe, let me talk to you. Things aren't looking too good, Joe. You walked 3 guys in a row, Joe. You don't seem to have it today. Oh, I got it. I got it. Yeah, I'm just going through a dry spell. I'll get it together. Get it together. All right, Joe, I'm keeping an eye on it. Just so you know, we nearly need this one. Come on, Joe. Buckle up, Joe. Get it together. He walks a couple more guys. You go back out. Hey, Joe. See how I got sauce, Joe. Just walk 2 more guys, Joe. Jesus Christ, Joe. Come on, give me a break. I'm in my own head here. I'm in my own head. If you pull me, you ain't black. Joe, if you walk another player, Joe, I mean, as much as I'm fighting for you, Joe, can't fight you. Nancy, she's drunk, but she can see still. She sees walking everybody, Joe. Even Jim Clyburn stopped defending you. He went home to pick up some fish to fry, said, you'll catch this on MSNBC tomorrow on our show. Listen, Joe. You walk another player, Joe, we're pulling you. I won't do it. I won't enjoy doing it, but I'll do it, Joe, because it's part of the job, okay? What I'm telling you is Hakeem Jeffries is full of shit. When Joe went out there on that debate stage and ate those bags of sausages, someone talked to him. It wasn't a surprise. He ate a cart of kielbasas in front of the entire globe on primetime TV Hakeem wants us to believe no one said anything. Just, nah, man, it's garbage. And then they say, Tim Black, why you got a problem with the Democrats? Because they lie. I know Republicans lie. I didn't say be a Republican. I said be an independent. Think for yourself. Get the best deal out of whatever's on the table. Don't just keep going to Zayres. Don't keep going to the same stores. Go online. Don't just pull the trigger on the TikTok shop. Look at what's on Amazon. Try eBay. Go to Alibaba. Look at them all. Get the best deal. I'm not promoting any of them. Get the best deal. Isn't that what we do? Why can't you do that with politics? And why is me telling you to do that somehow selling you out? That's goofy. What is wrong with you? Look, if you want to vote for him, but at least make the decision. If you do end up buying on the Bezos site, at least have looked around, you know? Maybe there's a mom and pop shop that could have fulfilled your needs and give you a better product. All right, guys, let's keep it moving, man. Let me know what you think about this. Damn it, Hakeem. This guy's not the future of the Democrats, that's for sure.
Just very quickly, I want to ask you, Congressman Jeffries, you say we're not looking back, we're looking forward, but what happened in the past has to do with what's going to happen in the future and whether voters can trust Democrats. As you look back, you were in a leadership position when President Biden decided to run again. Should you have done more at that point to intervene?
What kind of question is that? You're imagining in this world that Hakeem's going to throw himself on the sword? Is that it? That it? He has no intentions of owning up to this.
It's a great question in terms of whether voters can trust Democrats or not. Every single high-profile special election that has taken place since President Trump was inaugurated, a special election victory in Iowa in January, a special election victory in New York in February, a special election victory in Pennsylvania in March, a special election victory in Wisconsin in the Supreme Court race in April, and yesterday, decisively defeating a Republican incumbent in Omaha in a surprise to many observers. Clearly, voters are trusting Democrats. This year, when they go to the ballot, repeatedly rejecting MAGA extremism.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
That ain't what she asked you. She said, Hakeem, she asked you, Hakeem, if since you were in leadership position, do you regret that you did not do more to blow the whistle on your boy Joe? And for that, you start doing it. And yeah, that's not going to work for us. Who keeps voting for the Hakeem Jeffries? And I'm not just saying that because he's he's full of it and word salady. I'm just wondering. And this is what money does for you. You got money, you can win elections. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Next. Jesus Christ. You wasn't even in the ballpark of answering that question.
Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House. Thanks so much for...
Next on deck with Tim Black.
If things go south at the debate, me, Barack, Nancy, and Hakeem have a plan B. Schumer would later deny it. It's a political problem that we have here.
Did he mean go south at the debate in that Joe Biden totally, had a malfunction the way we saw, or did he mean just go south at the debate like he doesn't perform well? The fact I didn't know. There's more at stake.
Kids and gossip by buying bonds.
Where those same people were lying about it.
Right, guys, I want to fast forward and just get past this. I didn't realize I had the same clip. Let's get to this. This is Oh, damn, I got a couple things. Okay, let's go to the RFK clip. All right, guys, so this one's a setup. RFK Jr. at Congress gets interrupted by Ben Cohen of Ben & Jerry's.
Tim Black.
Permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police.
Damn, man. You act my man up like that. What did my man do? Get a little aggressive there, sir. Ben is like 75, man. You ain't got to yank his arm out of socket. Just words, baby. God damn. Look at the way this guy snatches up. Ben.
Tim Black.
I mean, it was a little jarring there. I guess they weren't ready for it. It's like somebody threw a bomb in a... What the hell happened here? Somebody threw on some vanilla ice.
And you can't...
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, I think they startled him. Either that or this guy's probably isn't wearing the proper amount of deodorant. Get some Axe body spray or something going on, sir.
Permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police.
Hold on, man. Let me get out the way, man. Like I said, man, I'm rewinding it because the way they handled, the way they beat Rodney Dangerfield was wrong.
On deck with Tim Black.
Permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room.
Move down the hallway.
Ben, why are you getting arrested?
Move down the hallway. If you stop, you will be arrested. Poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Keep going down. Keep going down the hallway.
Ben, how many days have they been starving in Gaza?
What has it been? 75 days by now. Stop.
Anthony, I need my shoe.
Our program. We work down in the hall right now. Let's go. Everybody. I'm saying, everybody. Stop business. Pick it up. Stop business. Pick it up.
Ben, what are you calling for the Congress and senators to do for Gaza?
Congress and the senators need to ease the siege. They need to let food into Gaza. They need to let food to starving kids.
What did you say in there, man?
I said that Congress is paying to bomb poor kids in Gaza and paying for it by kicking poor kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Don't let them any closer. Back. Stop. Everybody. Stop. Everybody stop. Right.
Next on deck.
Yeah, you know what, man? I gotta say, man. I'm kind of conflicted here. I'm kind of conflicted here. Only because, I'm conflicted because I'm wondering if he would have done this protest if Biden would have been president. That's the only thing that bothers me, Ben. Would you have done this protest if Biden was president? Because, they've been blocking supplies and food and all this stuff for under Biden, and I didn't see it. It's like it's easy for people to protest under Trump. It's like they all of a sudden everybody got they got the protest bug. Like Democrats weren't protesting all the woeful waste and BS that was going on in these organizations. But when they try to cut the budget, like, we did cut the budget. Oh, and now they want to protest cutting them. But you didn't want to protest all the bloat, all the nonsense, all the back scratching, all the corruption in D.C. No one protested. Just ran as usual for decades. But I'm conflicted because you got a point. Yeah, I get it. If you decide you didn't want to call it out before, but now you're calling it out, I can't deny that the condition doesn't exist. So I won't say it doesn't exist. I will say I question the timing of sincerity, the sincerity of those who are calling it out. The convenience route. That's what it is. It's convenient. It's convenient to call out the federal government under Trump. It wasn't so convenient to do so under Biden. Yeah, that's my point. I will give you props here and say this. I like the fact that Ben wasn't on the news today going, they did this because I'm an old white guy. Yeah, because that's what Al Green did when he was protesting at the State of the Union address. He's at the presidential State of the Union address doing the same thing, gets thrown out, and then goes, they did it because I was black. Omitting that he got thrown out, not because he was black, because other black people were there, but he got thrown out because his ass was loud, interrupting a live broadcast of the president giving an address. He went there to get thrown out, just like Cohen. Ben, I don't know him that well, like I haven't talked to him in years, but I got a feeling he knew he was going to get arrested. He knew that. When Representative Al Green got thrown out, he didn't even get arrested. This asshole went on show after show saying it was racially motivated, even though he did a staged protest. And you get thrown out when you protest. A staged protest gets you thrown out of. Anyway, folks, this is just where we are with the hypocrisy. I got no problems with what Ben did here other than what I stated. I support protests because I just do. I think people have a right to their First Amendment, man. Yeah, they got their right to speak their piece. And that's all they were doing was using their First Amendment. That's it. And when people said, I'm sure they said, hey, guy, cut the shit, quiet, get out, and they didn't, and that's when they laid hands. But damn, they yanked my man Ben like Ben stole something. All he did was interrupt the proceedings. Ben ought to sue him. Look like you lost some connective tissue in your shoulder blades there, Ben. Yeah. All right, guys. I just looked like they manhandled him a little rough. It was unnecessary. I mean, I know you got to get the guy, but you got to yank him like that. I mean, Jesus. All right, let's keep going, folks.
With Tim Black.
TikTok made me try Softworm Classic. Let's get into it. Y'all, this Juneteenth tee is everything. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement. The fabric, soft as butter. The message, loud and proud. From Juneteenth celebrations to everyday slay, this tee's got you covered. Softworm Classic is serving up Black excellence, and I'm here for it. Don't sleep on this, fam. Hit up softwormclassic.com and level up your wardrobe game.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, one of my constituents, her name's Natalie Phelps. She's a mom of two from Bainbridge Island in Washington State. She has been fighting aggressive stage 4 colorectal cancer for nearly 5 years now. Her best hope now is a clinical trial she's participating in at the NIH Clinical Center. She flew out to NIH a few weeks ago for her first appointment, and her care team there wanted her to come back in 4 weeks to start treatment. But because of the thoughtless mass firing of thousands of critical employees across NIH and HHS that you carried out, Natalie's doctors at that clinical center have told her they have no choice but to delay her treatment by an additional 4 weeks. Now, an extra 4 weeks may not sound like a long time, but I will tell you, for stage 4 cancer patients like Natalie, this could mean the difference between life and death. Secretary Kennedy, how many staff have been cut from the NIH's clinical center? I want a specific number.
I can't tell you that now, Senator Murray. What I can tell you is that if you contact my office tomorrow, I'll look specifically into that.
Well, that is not acceptable. I want an answer back by that. She deserves it. I do it. She doesn't have much time. She deserves an answer back.
And wouldn't you rather get her into that clinical trial as fast as you can?
Absolutely.
All right, so if you contact my office tomorrow, This is if that happened.
You are here to defend your budget. I'm here to ask you questions about the impact of that.
Well, you asked me about a specific case that I want to help with. I don't think anybody.
But there are.
I don't think that should happen to anybody.
Okay.
See, here's the thing here, RFK Jr. is she's doesn't really give a shit about this lady who's going through it. What's her name? Lillian or whatever. Yeah, she doesn't really, this Murray person, Senator Murray doesn't give a shit about that. Nope, don't care. Natalie, yeah, she doesn't give a shit about Natalie. Natalie's just a means to an end of making you look like an ass on this stage. She didn't care about Natalie getting help. Because if she did, she'd say, yeah, I have a contact you tomorrow, but as for this, let's do this. And then it's diffused. But she is such a one-track mind. Democratic operative, that's all she can focus on. We need to bring him down. We need to make a point. We get a soundbite. That's all they really care about. It's so obvious. She just said the woman has stage 4 cancer and she can't get treatment because of something he did. He says, well, shit, I don't want that on my conscience. Who is this person? We need to look into that. I don't know, but let's get on that. I'll get on that now. We'll work this out. And you're like, oh, forget that. Let's focus on you, RFK. So this is the hypocrisy of our politicians. This is how I feel all the time when they're just yapping and yapping and yapping on about Trump. Not really about fixing the problem. This is my whole point. I've been trying to make to people, and it's like I'm talking in the wind I'm talking into a cave. And all I can hear is my own voice coming back, and no one's listening. This is the same way they do it. It's like they just want to score points against Trump. They do not care about the thing they're trying to score points about. And there are people that buy it for some reason. They buy it. Like, dude, they don't care, man. It's just trying to hurt him. And when people see through that, it's not that they're defending Trump. They hate that. They hate when people are disingenuous phonies. Like Mary here. She wants to gaslight about this one person. And then we say, well, let me help this one person. She goes, don't waste my time trying to help this one person. You're cutting into my time. Huh? I thought you wanted to help this one person that you brought up. What are you supposed to do? Ignore that you brought up this person? That you're basically saying he's sentencing to death? Tim Black, you should run for office. No, I shouldn't. I should run, get me a sock filled with sand and do what they did in that Brand Nubian song.
Well, what have you, and I mean you personally, done to assess how those staff cuts are impacting patient care? She is one of many. What have you done to assess that?
I provided the guidelines that said we shouldn't, that no clinical trials should be affected by the cuts. I have, Matt Mamoli.
Mr. Secretary, I just have a short amount of time. They are impacting clinical trials.
You asked me a question. Do you want me to answer it?
Oh, here's the thing, man. This is part of my problem. He didn't tell them to cut the clinical trial people. He said, cut the budget. You could have took from, I don't know, all the fat. You could have cut the swanky hotel stays, them goofy conventions no one cares a damn about that are catered. You could have all flew coach. You know? It's a lot of things you could do to cut. You don't have to cut the cancer treatments. You could have cut other stuff. See, that's the trick about this, guys. If I said, okay, say I had the power. I don't, but let's say I had the power. Let's say I have a power to go to you and say, okay, what's your monthly budget? You say, well, we are monthly, we're $10,000. Okay, fine. Make it 9. Huh? It's gonna be 9 from now on. I'm get to decide this. I am the king of budgets. Now you got to live off $9,000 instead of $10,000, $9,000. And you go, oh God, how will we feed the kids? Guess we got to sell one of them. That's the Democrats. Now, how about cutting Netflix? How about cutting Netflix and them and stop getting the Johnny Walker Black and just go ahead and get the Jack Daniels? You know, like there's things you could do. You know, there's things you could do. Beans and Franks instead of sushi. You know, things you could do. But no, they go, see, wants me to sell my kids on the open market. Do you understand what I'm saying here, guys? This is what they do. I've been reporting it this way for some time. I want people to get the message. This is the humongous lie that's being told by Democrats. Is when you cut budgets, they keep saying, well, you must not want me, my children to be able to wear shoes. Now, won't you cut your wife's Gucci and Prada? Oh, I can't do that. Well, sounds like somebody's an asshole. And see, that's my whole point about the cuts, Johnson. That's it. That's it. They're choosing to say, you're going to cut the Medicare. Why not just cut a couple of the execs off? How about firing them? Well, we can't fire the execs. See what I'm saying? You get it. This lady's despicable, man. We need to send her some hate mail.
I want to tell you, you need to know this. You're here to defend the NIH budget, which
Do you want to, Senator, do you want me to answer your question?
Well, I want
to. You want me to answer your question, Senator?
Tell you that Natalie is sitting there waiting for treatment.
And I'm offering to help her, but you don't care.
Mr.
You
Secretary,
don't care about Natalie.
I reclaim my.
RFK turning red. He getting mad in the mouth. Look at him. I don't think I ever seen him this, man. Look at him. You know, when the white guy's like, yeah. So it's like, okay. You guys strapped, right? Everybody got their vest on, right? Because we don't know. You could look at RFK got a little pissed off here. Look at this. It's like cut the malarkey. Look at RFK.
Trials.
You asked me a question. Do you want me to answer it?
I want to tell you, you need to know this. You're here to defend the NIH budget, which.
Do you want to, Senator? Do you want me to answer your question?
Well, I want
to. You want me to answer your question, Senator?
Tell you that Natalie is sitting there waiting for treatment.
And I'm offering to help her, but you don't care.
Mr.
You don't care about Natalie. I've offered to help Natalie.
I am asking you a question, and it is critical.
Yeah, all his voice problems cleared up. It's like, you don't care about Natalie yet. Frumpy old jackass. You hack, you don't care about Natalie. Damn.
Personal update on Natalie's case, and you offered that. Please give that to me in the next 20
Oh, she does. See, I didn't see the whole thing.
Are now proposed by the NIH are going to hurt. I think the president
result in more stories like Natalie's.
I think the cuts that are now proposed by the NIH are going to hurt. I think that President Trump, listen, there's no agency head in the government like myself that wants to see their budget cut. And
I asked you, have you personally assessed what this is doing to patients? And I am telling you, one story of one person, it is impacting life or death situation. I think it's.
You want me to answer your question, Senator?
Well, you did.
Oh, I have not. You have not allowed me to answer it.
Well, I will just say that it is my job to be a voice for people like Natalie and countless other patients who are like her. So you've got to fix this. I want to know, and I want a personal update on Natalie's case, and you offered that. Please give that to me in the next 24 hours, and I expect details and transparency about the state of NIH clinical care.
You contact my office, Senator.
I think
will
you could
do
contact
everything
my
in my
office
power to try to get Natalie into that.
I got 1 minute left, and I want to ask you about the NIOSH cuts. I am really alarmed by your decision to essentially eliminate the National Institutes for Occupational Safety and Health. You've already fired nearly 90% of the staff. That includes the staff in my state at the Spokane Research Lab. Those are experts. They do essential work to protect miners and firefighters and farm workers, people who work in dangerous conditions. I am told that after a backlash, you are reinstating some of those, mainly in the West Virginia office. But nobody in the Western United States. And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to how you've made these decisions. And how do you explain this to my constituents in Spokane who are out of a job and the workers that are being impacted by that?
The work in NIASH will not be interrupted. I've brought back 328 workers, mainly in the Cleveland office and the Morgantown office and for the World Trade Center site. And that work will continue. The work on mine safety will continue. The epicenter of that work has been Cleveland and it's been Morgantown. We understand it's a critically important function, and I did not want to see it end.
Mr. Chairman, I would just say you can't fire 90% of the people and assume the work gets done.
Senator Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next.
Okay, she's kind of ended with a zinger there. 90% of the people. Jesus Christ. Is that an accurate statement here? All right. All right, guys, let's come to this. It has come to this. I like to find out, so Johnson. I gotta know this. All right, hang tight, guys. This is crack journalism going on right here. Okay. Has JFK and Doge, have they cut 90% of NIH staff? Answer. Okay, I'm assuming you're asking whether Oklahoma has John F. Kennedy International. Oh, I said JFK, huh? I screwed up. Did RFK Jr. and Doge cut 90% of NIH staff? RFK Jr. Did RFK Jr. and NIH cut 90% of NIH staff? Okay. No, there's no evidence that RFK Jr. has cut 90% of NIH staff or that such a drastic reduction has occurred at the NIH. Here's the breakdown. RFK Jr.'s role in NIH layoffs. RFK has been nominated to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees the NIH under the Trump administration. He has not yet assumed his role pending Senate confirmation. So yeah, say what? Post on X from November 24 indicated RFK expressed plans to fire 600 employees at the NIH, replace them with new workers to reshape health agencies. NIH employ approximately 20,000 to 25,000 staff. A 600-person layoff will represent roughly 2 to 3% of the overall staff, far from 90%. Actual cuts. CBS News reported about 200 NIH employees, including 50 at the National Cancer Institute, received layoff notices. So he did cut some cancer people. Following 150 NCI layoffs on April 1st. Claims the 1,500 NIH employees, 8% of the workforce were laid off, allegedly violating a bill. This claim is unverified and lacks corroboration. 90% staff claim no credible reports or data support a 90% NIH reduction, a 90% cut. 90% figure may seem from confusion with another agency. RFK says okay, according to my quick investigative inquiry, she's full of it. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't understand what she just said. I don't think she does either. All right, guys, that's all I got. Let's go to the next one.
On deck with Tim Black.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
Jesus Christ. Okay, guys. This is horrible. I just want to briefly talk about this, and I just want to say, we're supposed to care about facts. We're supposed to care about justice when it comes to people doing 10 years time in prison. And I know, there are people that made decisions about the Tory Lanez trial based on how they personally felt, and if they like Megan Thee Stallion or if they like Tory Lanez. And that's not how decisions should be made. We should make them based on evidence. How could anybody be like, yo, lock this guy up if no DNA tests were done to confirm that he shot the gun? Like, how could there be undisclosed, not know whose DNA is on a gun, and then you convict the guy who says it wasn't him? I'm just saying, I understand there's some discrepancies, and people were misremembering and changing stuff up and all that good stuff. But if you're gonna take somebody, someone's gonna go to jail, gotta know whose DNA is on the damn gun. I still not understand, man. There's got to be more to it. So for anybody who doesn't know, Megan Thee Stallion is noted in here as Miss Pete. Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelly Harris was actually her assistant, and Kelsey Harris, and the Tory Lanez, who was recently stabbed, which is the reason why this is all getting so much heat again, because he got attacked. They say he was stabbed 14 times in prison. People said it was Rockefeller. I saw somebody say, and I don't know if it's credible, saying it was an argument over something Tory Lanez said, and this guy got pissed, and that's why he was attacked. I don't know. We do know that Tory Lanez has ongoing appeals. He's always said he was innocent. I can't decide that here. I'm not going to expect you to be swayed in your judgment about it. All I'm saying is, I was unknown. I did not know that so much is unanswered, even to this point. How can anybody go to jail when there's no DNA linking anybody to anything in this day and time? But if you got DNA evidence, and considering the fact that at one point the stories changed about who did what, and people didn't know who did what, and Just seems like a bunch of mess. We got Tory Lanez still putting out records from jail like he's home. And social media is still revving. And we've got DJ Academics and still blowing up the spot. And people still fighting about this. It's the same way they were fighting when it first happened. And all I'm saying is my problem, my concern is we have evidence, we have science we can use to determine proof beyond a shadow, but beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm just wondering, how did you reach that without tying it together with some evidence like DNA? When you got a physical thing like a gun, you got a murder weapon. Did he have residue on his hands? Like, I'm just asking. I don't know. So if there is residue on his hands, if there is DNA evidence linking him to the gun and to the bullet, okay, that's a different story, right? Okay. But if you don't have those things, what are we even talking about? Like, how does this even happen? It just seems weird. It says a good amount of misinformation floating around on X and many other platforms. All I'm saying is, people die in prison all the time. There's always that risk no matter who you are. If you're Tory Lanez, it's probably a bigger target than most. People online have been calling for him. Some people have applauded him being stabbed up 14 times, which I think is cold-blooded, especially considering there's no DNA even saying he did the crime. Did he do it? I'm not saying he did or didn't do it. I don't know. All I'm saying is, what does the evidence say? Obviously, they reached the conclusion that he did. I'm just saying, it seems weird. All right, let me know in the comment section, man. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I'm not here to vouch for anybody's credibility or throw anybody under the bus. I'm just saying. Where's the DNA? That's all. Where's the DNA? All right. Next, I don't even know if we're going to get to next, man. It's 2.5 hours. It's been gone for a long time. Yeah. I got like one other video. Can really save it for tomorrow. I guess, yeah, you know what? I will save it tomorrow. I talked to Shamichael Singleton about it. It's about Trump and the Qatar planes. And I got a feeling that all of you are probably like, I don't care about no Qatar plane. Who cares about a Qatar plane, Tim? Okay, fine. But I am going to address that with Shamichael Singleton tomorrow when we have our show. And maybe if with a little bit of luck, it'll still be in the news cycle when it's fully released. So stay tuned for that on Sunday. And regardless of how it goes, I'm sure it'll go well. You have some new content to take a look at. All right, folks, let's go to comment sections. I think that's it for tonight. Tim Black Show, let's see what my people say. What's going on, people? Any questions, any comments? Yeah, we got Trust No Party. He says, super sticker. Thank you, Trust. I appreciate you, brother, for supporting this Tim Black Show. And once again, thank you, Black Mama, for doing what you do with the Legacy mug. Go to timblackmug.com and order a mug, $20 to your door. Thank you, Mama, for your support. And all you rest of you, thank you for your support of this show. All right. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's enough. I'm out of here, Johnson. Rank station. '99. Okay, we good. Thank you, Odell J. I appreciate you. Malcolm Rex is in the building. She cooks since she roast came through. Yo. Do me a favor, guys. Hit me with a hit a like button on your way out the door and share this if you're on Facebook, if you're on X. Number love for you. I see you on the next one. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread, fam. That's your cornbread. Don't let anybody take your damn cornbread. What's wrong with you? Let people take your cornbread like that. Have some dignity. Stand up for your cornbread. Oh, and like I always say, where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Informant media, here they go.